So when we're working on using the greatest common factor to factor, there's two key pieces. It's finding the greatest number that you can take out of two or more things, and then it's also finding out how many variables you can take out. So let's look at an example. Let's say that I have 18x squared and I have 24x. So what I have to figure out first is what is the largest number that I can divide 18 and 24 by. So I can actually do a little tree here. 18 is 18 times 1. It is 6 times 3. And it's 9 times 2. 24 is going to be 24 and 1. 6 times 4, 8 times 3, 12 times 2. So I look at this list of numbers and I find the biggest one that they have in common. And I can see that the number 6 is the largest number they have in common. So I'm going to factor a 6 out. Now when I factor that 6 out, that leaves me with 3 in the first term, because I have 3, 18 divided by 6 is 3. And then in the second term, that's going to leave me with a 4. And notice I'm leaving a space for those variables. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. Now, think of this as this variable has 2 x's and this variable has 1. That means the largest amount of variables I can take out is 1x. Because you can't have a term with negatives, like dollars. If somebody has $2 and the other person has $1, the most I can get from each person is $1. So that means I'm taking 1x out, so my first term has an x left because it had 2 to start with, and then my second term doesn't have an x because I took it out. And so this is the final answer when I'm looking at how to do it between two terms. Now, there's also in the check here, there's going to be some matching problems where you're going to do the same process, but you're going to have more than 2 terms. So let's take a look at how to do it when you have 3 terms. The process doesn't change, you just have to account for 3 things. So let's say that I have something like let's say that I have something like this. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get all those factors written out again. So I have 6 and 3, 18 and 1, 9 and 2. And then for 12, I have 12 and 1, 6 and 2, and 4 and 3. And then for 6, I have 2 times 3. So if I look here and I look for the largest number that is a factor of all of these, I have, it looks like if I look here, the largest number I have here is 6, and there's a 6 in all of my other ones. So that means I'm going to take the 6 out. So I'm going to do 18 divided by 6, which is 3, 12 divided by 6, which is 2, and notice I'm leaving room, and 6 divided by 6 is 1. So now I look at the variables. Okay, so this has 2 x's, this has 1x, and this has no x's. So I can't take something from every term, so I can't factor this any further. So my variables remain the way they are because there's nothing to take out of this last term. So this is actually my final answer. And it's okay that there's not going to be an x out in front of the parentheses because it doesn't have to work out that way. So that's kind of a key idea, is that you don't have to take a variable out, because if you have a term like this one right here that's missing a variable, then you can't take something away from it either. So I'm going to do one more example to help you out with this section. And this time we're going to look at what happens when you can take out more than one variable, which is kind of interesting. And then let's use a different letter because I'm tired of using x. So let's try something a little different. Let's do something like 15a squared. And, so we're not going to have a plus sign. We're going to do and. Let's say 25a cubed. So the first thing we're going to do is write the factors out of 15 and 25. So I have 15 and 1 and 3 and 5. I have 25 and 1 and then 5 and 5. So the largest number they have in common is going to be a 5. So I know the greatest common factor for the number side is 5. Now I look at my variables and I have 2 a's here and 3 here. And I can only take out as many as will leave me with a 0. So for instance, this person has $2 and this person has 3. I can't take $3 from each person because that person only has 2. So that means between both of the things, I can take out 2. So this is the greatest common factor for that one.